Before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Santa Clara.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football?
Who knows what we're in store for here, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line from both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
The kicker, Jake Moody's got it teed up, and we are underway now from Santa Clara. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Miami.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
They go play action here on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
It's zone defense right away here defensively, and I know that these linebackers and DBs are going to be tested throughout. They passed the first test, though. This one falls incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Ward. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Ward. And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their 3rd-year quarterback.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sense that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jennings. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 3. Purdy now to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Back to throw, Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now a 2nd and 6. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Throwing here, Purdy. He'll get this to Jennings over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 40. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And Kittle going to have a 49ers first down as the tackle is made at the 28-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Purdy sets up to throw again. Pass caught by Pearsall. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Now a 2nd and 2. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Purdy. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Shotgun now with Purdy. And he fends him off. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is indeed good, and the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support. And I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And his throw is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Ward. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
1st down, Tennessee.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Ward. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 29-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a 1st down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Again to Calvin Ridley, and he's got it once more.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 23, here's 2nd and 4. Back back to throw again.
Middle of the field to Jefferson.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
Finding Lockett for the catch here on the out route.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll try and run for it. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. A chance to get some momentum here in the 2nd quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the 2nd quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Purdy off the play fake.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders. Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Purdy looking to throw.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
On the mental focus of the whole.
That's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
And taken at the 46. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And the Titans are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over 1st and 10. To throw is Ward. Throwing to start the drive. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be second down. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. Looking to throw. Moore able to shit. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Purdy.
Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9. Purdy. That's complete to Pearsall.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Here's Mitch Wishnowski now. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. This one caught by Ridley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Two yards to go, 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Ward, and he gets this one to Ridley, complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Calvin Ridley. It's a gain of 6. First down, Tennessee.
Operating from the gun, Ward. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. Sly able to put this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, a combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
A handoff left, McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Purdy now to throw. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the 2nd half.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
Now Ward throwing to start the drive.
He finds his man, Pollard. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards for number 11.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Off the play fake. Ward. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here's a screen now for Pollard. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line.
They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long, because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
Sly able to put this one through.
And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field.
Yeah, with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Got a man. That's Ayuk. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And throwing here, Purdy. This is Jennings. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Getting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 1. Back to throw, Purdy. Oh, he'll take a shot for McCaffrey downfield. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey, 47 yards. And the 49ers have taken the lead here in this third quarter. Well, we know he can run the ball. There he shows he has the ability to do a little bit more.
That's what you call a complete player. A guy who can run it, catch it, probably can protect the passer when necessary, but his skills are best used when you get the ball in his hands.
And that's the thing. When you've got an athlete like that, you want to get the ball to him in multiple ways, right?
Without a doubt, because he often creates mismatches about who can cover him, whether he's coming out of the backfield or even lining up like a receiver.
Moody good with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's finished off by a receiving touchdown from Christian McCaffrey. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. They'll run left with Pollard. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
They'll look to throw here on first down. This one brought in by Jefferson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Back to throw. Ward. This complete to Lockett. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
16 yards. And the Titans first down.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the fourth quarter. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That defensive front four has been very good. They've just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like forward-down defensive linemen, they feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
That is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it. Muscles him off.
And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Here's Ward. From the gun, he'll throw. His throw caught right around the 6.
And the Titans are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Looking to throw. Ward. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
With Nick Bosa so quick on the outside, he gets in there to bring him down.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
Here we go on 4th down. And this time he is in.
Yes.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Titans answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. This defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So Purdy and the Niners down 13-10, 2:06 to play. They'll have one play, maybe two, before the 2-minute warning as they've got a first down. Now Purdy. And his throw's going to be incomplete. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
Play action. Now Purdy. Ayuk bringing it in on the crossing route here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Here's Purdy to throw.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Throwing, Purdy. That's into the hands of Pearsall on the right side.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Here's 1st down. Here's Purdy. Pass caught by Pearsall.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Second and 5. Purdy to throw. It's caught. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Purdy going to give it to Guerrero. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Purdy to throw.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
Remember, the one timeout still available as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Purdy.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. That one checks all the boxes, doesn't it? You get the first down, check. Get out of bounds, stop the clock, check.
Bro, how about one last check? Keep your quarterback from getting hit. That's a big check.
Yeah, check there as well. Good call.
Now 1st and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5.
And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to tie things up in the final minute. And this one is right through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Throwing to start the drive. Moore. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
On a completed pass, got to get down quickly and call a timeout.
2nd and 2.
That'll be complete to Okonkwo.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This from long, very long range. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And that changes everything here in OT.
So it's the Titans who will control the football first here in overtime as we're back underway. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Ward now, throwing to start the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Second and 4. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. A little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space. If he makes someone miss, that could turn into the big play you're looking for.
And he will have a Titans first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
They got a completion there, but that's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, very, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
Got his man, Okonkwo.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's 2nd down. Here's the option.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, Most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. His first catch, and it's a big one in overtime. It's a first down. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
Yeah, starting to put together a nice drive. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. That puts them in field goal range, but let's face it, they don't want 3 here. They want 6. With these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
From the 21, here's 2nd down and 2.
Now they try the right side here. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And they need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Operating from the gun. Moore.
He finds his man, Pollard.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. They hand off to their big tight end. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
And the Titans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Tony Pollard. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And they will take a 7-point lead. That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
First throw of overtime for Purdy. That's complete to Pearsall.
Purdy's pass to Ricky Pearsall. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 36-yard line.
They need a matching touchdown here to keep their hopes alive. Here's 2nd down. Purdy now to throw. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. He's got Ayuk once again. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Here's Purdy. And that'll be incomplete with the penalty marker down as well. And I think he was beyond the line of scrimmage when that ball left his hand. He broke that line of scrimmage and then let it fly, and that's an automatic flag.
Yeah, and you don't just lose the 5 yards there, but you lose it down as well. So he obviously needs to have better awareness about what he's going to do. Either tuck it and go or throw to a target and get that pass away.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Purdy will look to throw again here. And this is going to be incomplete. So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. The throwing here, Purdy. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers. Wow, talk about a big
4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Now Moody for the PAT.
And he's got it up and through. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And it was Brandon Ayuk capping it off with a touchdown reception.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Titans set and ready to go on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
And that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Back to throw.
Ward. He'll complete this one to Okonkwo.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Ward off the play fake. And this will be incomplete.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Titans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Throwing, completing, quick to Calvin Ridley.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd and 6.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 7 yards there and a first down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, breaking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good. And they have won it here in double overtime.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home, so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Santa Clara.